Hello and welcome to another edition of Overcoming Illness. I am Paula Denoncourt, your host, founder and CEO of Enrich Your Health. I help my clients stop living a life of pain and suffering by giving them simple lifestyle dietary tips and simple recipes. I myself suffered from multiple food allergies, and one of the things missing for me was just simple recipes. I couldn't find anything that was simple, that you had to go to 3 different grocery stores or spend an arm and a leg on all these groceries. So I put together recipes for my clients, either customized or some that are already done on my website. You can go to Enrich Your Health, ENRICHURHEALTH.com if you're listening. And you can go to the store and you can see some of those digital recipe ebooks that you can get if you do have to eat dairy-free, gluten-free, sugar-free, because I had to do it all. And I put together this show for people that have some sort of an illness that they've overcome, they're still going through. Their stories need to be heard. So if you're out there and your story needs to be heard, then please reach out to me. You can reach out to me on Facebook Messenger, Instagram Messenger, my email, info@enrichyourhealth.com. Once again, it's ENRICHURHEALTH.com. Or last but not least, you can just text me 508-330-9665. We'll set up a time to talk. So I'm looking for sponsors, business spotlights. So if you have something you want to advertise, let me know. I've got thousands of followers. So with that, I don't want to talk too much about me. Just make sure you go back and give Elevation TV Network some love. Go over to the YouTube channel, like, subscribe, or even their Facebook channel, and follow them, because I've got some amazing shows, including my guest tonight, Angela Wynn. I almost said it wrong. But yeah, so welcome again to Overcoming Illness, wherever you are in the world. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. So let me tell you a little bit about our guest. I am so excited. We've just started speaking and we just started to get to know each other, and we're going to do some major things in this world. So I am so excited. So let me introduce our guest, Angela Wynn. She is the author of books and lyrics. She's a native of Baton Rouge. She studied at Louisiana's finest HBCU, Southern University. She's been married for 30 blissful years, which that's amazing. You don't look like you've been married for 30 years. To a supportive husband, Shedrick Sr. She's got 3 brilliant sons, Steve, Tabitha, Ashton, Shedrick Jr., and 2 vibrant grandkisses, Lydia and Adonai. I hope I said their names right.
Adonis.
Adini. Oh, that's a beautiful name. Angela's impressionable work ethics reveal polished leadership through her various roles as a 2 times best-selling author, coach, manager, mentor, worshiper, songwriter, recording artist, teacher, and exposing her theatrical talent with casting experience as an extra on the big screen. Boy, she's got quite the background. Angela's ambition in life is simply to empower young and seasoned people through exercising her deliberate approach to invoke the mindset of being all that you can be, ascribed one person at a time. Angela learned valuable life lessons early on, coupled with the tragic ordeal of losing her mother at the young, tender age of 12. She was faced with the challenge of diagnosis of multiple sclerosis. Angela, having her mobility altered, vision compromised, she chose to travel the journey of educating herself and embracing the mindset of winning, like her last name. Those are no coincidences, our last name. Learning the ins and outs of that monster called MS, which I will agree. She's an advocate in many facets of life and desires to see others overcome, just as she has. Despite her generous heart, magnetic personality, and award-winning smile, those hills, valleys, and experience afford her the opportunity to be coached and guided through one of the toughest times. Angela's growth was not only physical, but spiritual as well. She learned how to trust God at every turn. The book, Fix My Smile, is an essential first writing project for Angela. Her second book, which is a best selling release, Please Be Careful What You Say, and her bestsellers 30-day devotional, limited access, Out Your Mind, with promises of more to follow. Angela is also featured in some other collaboration projects that have graced the bestsellers list, and there probably will be more.
Yes.
That is quite the bio, quite the background.
My
Angela,
God.
welcome. Thank you for being on our
Awesome.
site.
Awesome. I'm so glad to be here, Miss Paula. And look, I heard you said, I hope I said you're saying the name right. It's Angela.
Oh,
And I
okay.
tell people all of the time, I take anything but Angelica because that's the little girl from the Rugrats, and I am nothing like
Oh
her.
no, Angela. Okay,
Yes,
which sounds more
ma'am.
angel-like. Yeah, Angela. It
Yes,
does.
ma'am.
Yep. That's awesome. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Well, actually, I think we already did. You talked
Yes,
about your
ma'am.
background. So
Yes,
tell us,
ma'am.
it must have been, so let's go back. Let's start when you were young. You lost your mother at the age of 12. How
Right.
did your mom die? What happened?
Yes, my mom, she died. She had some heart issues, so
Okay.
she passed away, but I was so young, the only girl, had three older brothers. So, it took a big adjustment for
Mm,
me. Mentally, it took a big adjustment for me all the way through, puberty, up into my teenage years, all to adulthood. So
right.
I had to make some major adjustments within myself because
Mm,
a lot of things that I needed, a lot of the utensils that I needed, I didn't have it. Just
mm.
imagine, men trying to raise a girl. And that was something that had to be adjusted. I had to end up going to live with my aunt and
Oh, wow.
cousins, and yeah, so they, they 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 ate it, but it still wasn't enough of what I needed because I needed to be nurtured in a certain way because didn't realize that there was a gift and a calling that was upon my life. So
Mm,
I needed some things and I had to go out and find them. And, and God does some miraculous things in miraculous ways that we will never understand completely, Miss Paula. So
oh, yeah.
I had to do some readjustments. And my godmother, God rest her soul, she took me to a prayer conference. And that's when I was infilled with the Holy Spirit,
Wow.
ever since the age of 14.
Wow.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So it was a journey, and I tell you, like I was telling you before the show started, we were talking about the MS, and you did mention that in the bio. And
Mm-hmm.
that was something that I had to learn on my own. I did a lot of research on my own because it wasn't enough out there that
Right.
was tangible that I could latch on to and say, well, okay, well, let me do this over here. Because the whole time it was just research. Basically, they
Right.
didn't know for sure. So, and I'm pretty sure, with some of the things that you've dealt with, Miss Paula, that you found yourself in the same boat, in the same shoes in some situations.
Right. Yeah. So tell us about the MS. Well, first let's go back to your mom. You said she had heart issues. Did she have
Mhm.
any other issues?
No,
Any joint
ma'am.
pain? Nothing. So it
None of
might,
it.
yeah, that might not be genetic in your mother's sense, because sometimes there are heart issues and autoimmune issues
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
Lyme disease or different things. So I was just curious if maybe your mom was carrying something too, because that does happen.
Yeah, she didn't have anything. Her sister, I found out later, she was died. She had MS, But back then, the doctors didn't know anything about it. So
Mm,
she lost all of her faculties, you may as well say. So, that she was the only one in the family that I found out actually had the disease.
okay. So just the sister of your mother. Wow.
My aunt.
Yep.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes,
So for
ma'am.
people
Yes, ma'am.
listening, if you've never listened to any of my shows before, what they're finding is things like MS, Lyme disease, some of these autoimmune illnesses are passed down from mother to
Mhm.
child. It's not
Mhm.
talked about that much. But they're finding, believe it or not, they found that Lyme disease, one of the really famous doctors in Connecticut, he was finding it's very prevalent in Italy, traces back to Italy.
Oh,
So for some reason, it was starting there and coming.
okay.
We always hear Lyme, Connecticut, but
Yes.
yeah, no, it means just to go back like genetic dysfunction and all of that.
Mhm.
They studied it, and a lot of it traces back to Italy. So you never know, you never know how far it traces back or where it traces back to. But yeah, I
Right.
always like to see if there was something going on in the family. Was it passed? Were you born with it? You know,
Down the line. Yeah. Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
And then stress will make it worse, or if it's Lyme
Mm.
disease, God forbid you get bit by another tick. You know,
Right, right, right,
different
right.
things. Yeah.
And Miss Paula, with the MS, and you mentioned the stress, and I really do think that that was one of the culprits uh
Mm-hmm.
in my situation, because if I just had
That's
um
life,
a stressful life,
right?
with losing my mother, having to make big readjustments and big changes in my life as a young person. So just imagine some of the young people that we have in our society today, and
Mm-hmm.
some of the big changes that they're having to make and readjustments that they're having to make. Some are dealing with, not to get off the subject, with
Oh
parents
no.
that's
Yep.
drug addicted or whatever the case may be. And they're having to readjust and make some major life changing decisions for some of
Yeah.
them. I even had one that I was in contact with. She had to raise her younger brothers and sisters because her mother had passed. The father, he had to, he went away. He was in prison. So she was left, this
Yep.
17-year-old, about to turn 18, left to raise the brothers and the sisters. Just imagine the stress level
Yep.
that's on her.
Right.
So, so stress can bring on certain ailments, and I do
Right.
believe that. And
Absolutely.
I like to call them diseases, because that's what they are. It's a dis-ease. It's causing dis-ease in your pattern, dis-ease in your mind, dis-ease in your bodies.
Yeah.
So yes, stress plays a very important part, and I'm big on self-care and self-love and all of that, but we have to begin to take care of this
Yeah.
first of all, and then I think once we get this and keep this in check, then the rest of our bodies are going to line up. you know
Yeah.
I did a thing where every morning I would get up and talk to myself. And I
Mm-hmm.
had to ask my question, okay, is this normal for an individual to talk to themselves? But yes, I had to talk to myself. I had Angela, you are beautiful. Angela, you can do this. Angela, put one foot, literally telling my feet and legs what to do. Put
Mm.
one foot in front of talking to my limbs, walk,
Yeah.
because my mobility had become challenged,
Right.
first of all. So I had to talk to my feet and my legs. Did I find it strange in the beginning? Yes, I did. But
Right.
it was essential. I had to do it, Miss Paula.
Wow. Yeah. We have, the power's in the tongue, you know.
Yes.
If you sit there and wallow in self-pity and,
Hmm.
keep thinking and thinking and thinking, you're gonna get more and more symptoms. You're gonna, you know what I
Hmm.
mean? I'm not saying you
Hmm.
don't have it, but you're
Hmm.
gonna start to feel more and more. You're gonna feel worse. You're gonna, you know what I mean? Because the more you're thinking about
Right.
it, the more it's gonna make it worse. So you have
Right.
to speak to, like you said, you have to speak to it. Say, I'm healthy when you get up in the
Yes.
morning.
Yes.
You may not cure it. And full disclosure, nothing on this show is medical advice
Right.
meant
We're
to
not
treat,
doctors.
heal, cure any illness in any way. Only God can
Right.
do.
Right.
But, but yeah, you have to speak to your illness and you will start to feel better. You may
Mhm,
not be cured,
mhm.
but you'll start to feel better.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. Talk
absolutely.
to it. I am fearfully and I am wonderfully made by God. God
Yes.
makes no mistakes. I
Yep.
am healed by the stripes of Jesus. I can be, and I can have all things
Hmm.
according to the power that works through God. He has given me the ability to get wealth. He's given me different gifts and talents, and
Right.
it's up to me to tap into those, to sit and meditate upon his word, eat his word. Hey, eat that word, meditate upon that word, because I
Yeah.
tell you, it's life. It is life to us. And
Yeah.
I tell anybody, like you said, we're not doctors. We
No.
don't know it all. All we can do is speak from our experience, because
Right.
it's not a one size fits all. What worked for Angela, or what worked for a minister, Paula, might not work for you. But if we come to the middle of the road and sit down and talk and have a conversation, maybe it's something that you can gain from it that's going to
Yep.
help you on your journey, help you
Yeah.
get over your challenge, help you get to the next phase in your life or where you're trying to go. But we got to come to the table and sit down and have a conversation, and let's see what's working.
Right. Yeah, that's so awesome because I truly believe that, one of the things when you were talking about, like if we go back a little bit about the stress and,
Hmm.
that takes a toll on your body. One of the
Yes.
things I noticed in the Lyme disease community, I used to go to all the group meetings for Lyme disease back in Massachusetts. So I was a
Right.
big advocate for Lyme disease. I helped with Central Mass Lyme Foundation. Um, One of the things I noticed with some of the people, like you said, they had a life where they were taking care of everybody else.
Hmm. Hmm.
And then lo and behold, they get sick. So
Right.
not even just with Lyme disease, not even just that MS, it could be cancer, it can be anything.
Yes.
I truly
Yes.
believe, and it's not like we sit up at night and want to be sick, don't get me wrong.
Uh-huh.
Our
Hmm.
subconscious takes over and says, my turn. I
Hmm.
want to be taken over. I want
Hmm.
to be taken care of. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Hmm.
So now you're sick because you need somebody to take care of you.
Right.
You always helping somebody else. You know what I mean? We don't
Right.
do it on like for me, I developed multiple food allergies. I was working in a prison.
Hmm.
It was a stressful job. I was a dispatcher. So my body said to me, this was my story. If you don't quit, I'm going to. So
Wow.
my body was starting to quit. Literally, I would have been 6 feet under if I didn't quit that job. First, I
Wow.
took another job position in
Hmm.
that place. So if you're listening, sometimes that can help. Just take another job
Hmm.
position. I was an
Hmm.
admin administrative assistant for another 6 years, but because of budget cuts, I had to go
Hmm.
back to dispatch for another 3 years.
Okay.
So, but it helped. It got me out of
Okay.
that stressfulness, at least
Yes.
I wasn't so stressed. But
Yes.
for everybody has a different reason for why they get ill. But I think some of it sometimes is you're sick of taking care of everybody else. And now it's your turn. And it's unfortunate because, now you're sick,
Yes.
you're really sick, and you've got to
Yes.
take care of yourself. But
Right.
I do
Right.
see that
Right. Right.
in
Right.
that community. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And like you stated, Miss Paula, we have to take care of ourselves. And
Right.
even in the riff of taking care of ourselves, there are other people that need us. So,
Right.
but we have to know how to draw the line and set the boundaries. What I
Right.
can do, what I can't do. And not and realize that no is not a bad word.
Right.
Sometimes you have to say no. I'm not able to at the moment,
Right.
or whatever the case may be. So we have to, like I stated, we have to take care of ourselves.
Definitely.
Hmm.
Definitely.
Hmm. And I
And how
had,
old were
when
you? How old were you when you got diagnosed?
it was in 2000, I was 30 years old. I
So
had
later in life.
three, yeah, I had three. I ain't gonna tell my age now.
That's okay.
But if I could turn back the hands of time, that's all I'm gonna say. But
Yeah.
I had three sons at the time and a
Mm,
husband. So, the doctors and the nurses, they were sitting on the side of the bed asking me all the time. You know how they ask you all kind of questions about your family history and does
Mm-hmm.
this run in your family? Does this run in your family? And then they said the icing on the cake for me was they asked the question, what are you going to do? You have 3 sons and a husband. How are you going to take care of your family?
Oh,
And
wow.
I was, and at that point, Miss Paul, I could have literally just flatlined at that point because that took me in a whole nother realm.
Mm,
What are you going to do? And to hear it from the healthcare
wow.
profession was really a whoppadooza for me. But
I like that
thanks
word.
be unto God, like I said earlier, if it wasn't for God and his word and being properly connected with my pastor and my church family, I could have literally just sat on side of the road and had this oh woe is me mentality and just let it engulf me and take over me. But I
Mm,
chose not to. I chose to rise above it. I chose to stay. Was I on top all of the time? Was I feeling good all of the time? No, ma'am.
right. Yeah.
But I made up in my mind, like I said earlier, I made up in my mind, hey, I'm going to overcome. I am an overcomer. I
Yeah.
am more than a conqueror. And
Yes.
so I had every day I had to tell myself that. And so, and I really do believe with all of my heart, that's why I am where I am today.
Mm,
Even my writings, I am an author. I am a 7-time best-selling author, getting ready to release some more
yeah.
stuff. And I use my writing, and I didn't even realize it. I've always been a scribbler. I've always been a writer, and
Mm-hmm.
didn't know it. That was my true calling. But me writing those books, me doing those writings, that was my therapy, Miss Paula. And
Mm,
so
yeah.
out of that birth, those 7 books. And I tell anybody, get you a journal, get you a journal. I don't even know where I put oh, it's back here. Get you a journal and write.
Mm,
You write your daily activities. Write your feelings, what you're feeling, where you went, what you ate. I don't care what it is, write it down because you never know when you're going to need it or how you may be able to use just that tidbit of content in your life, in your daily walk. You may be in a conversation with somebody and they may be talking to you about something and you had an aha moment, been like, oh, I had this happen to me on this date, and you're able to go back and look and say, oh, okay. And then realize how you walked through it and how
mm-hmm.
you overcame it. And now you're able to share with somebody
Mm.
else.
Yeah, that's an awesome thing. Like I journal sometimes and then I get away from it and I go back to it. The other thing people can do too, but if they don't, sometimes writing can be too daunting. It's like, oh, I don't have time for that. You can always record too. Get your
Uh-huh.
phone,
Get your
record things.
phone, record,
Yep,
make your voice notes. Mm-hmm.
yep. And especially like if you are going through an illness like MS, Lyme disease, cancer, whatever it is, make either write, but do
Yes,
a journal. If you
yes,
can't do a journal, record things. So like
yes.
say you're eating food and that food gives you joint pain.
Mm-hmm.
So now you've got a journal. And so if you have to go to a doctor or something, even an alternative practitioner, either way,
Yes.
you have to start seeking advice. You can say, ABC did this to
Uh-huh.
me. You know what I
Uh-huh.
mean?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Or even if it's mobility issues, I walked
Yes.
10 minutes and that was it. That's all I could do today.
Mm-hmm.
It might
Mm-hmm.
even help you think more positive. Like maybe I can do 15
Right.
minutes tomorrow. I started a virtual walking club
Mm-hmm.
where I'm a true believer in prayer.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna post like how much we walk, and
Okay.
then when you walk, you're gonna pray.
Okay.
So I'm encouraging people to start
Mm-hmm.
posting scriptures, or
Mm-hmm.
maybe something
Mm-hmm.
you learned when you prayed. Um,
Right. Right. Right.
yeah, I mean they haven't yet, but it's just getting started. So if you want to join my virtual walking club, let me know. I'll send you
Yes,
an invite.
ma'am.
Yeah,
I'm there.
and
I'm
anybody else?
there. I'm there.
Yeah,
I
awesome.
I
Yes,
I love it. I love it. But you had said something as well, and earlier we were speaking, and I was telling you, every little bit uh helps. Every
right,
small step is a step. It gets you closer to
right.
your destination. So even if someone is out there and maybe they may be in a wheelchair or where, whatever the case may be, you may not can't get up and literally walk at the moment. But hey, get up, sit up straight. Wiggle your
Mhm,
toes, flex
right.
your feet, do something, pick your knee up a little bit, whatever you can do. Every
Right.
little bit helps. You will be surprised at the progress that you can make by just doing the little things,
Yep.
because those little things are going to lead to some big things, some great things. And before you
Yes.
know it, you're going to be up, standing up, taking those steps, and you're
Yep.
going to be look, we're going to be doing the walk with Miss Paula and the
Yes.
walk and praying, and
Yes.
yes, and it's going to
Yep.
happen. And I just feel have full faith in God that He's going to do a great work. And even, and I want to thank you so much for inviting me on your
Yep.
platform,
Yeah.
because we have some great things that we're going
Yep.
to put into place, and
Yes.
that they will be able to get involved in.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Yes,
Yeah, we've got
ma'am.
some, I was telling Angela, I'm gonna get the name right this time, just before we started the show. Uh, I've always been a Lyme disease advocate for quite a few years now. It kind of just fell into my lap. Um, and I wanted to do some big things with it. And it kind of went on the back burner a little bit. I hadn't stopped, but I wasn't doing it as hard when
Mhm.
COVID hit. And now we're going to hit the ground running. So I'm happy to
Yes,
say that we've
yes,
got some
yes,
ideas floating
yes,
around. I'm not
yes.
going to say them just yet.
Uh-huh,
But
uh-huh.
yeah, you never do that. But
Right, right,
anyway,
right, right,
yeah,
right.
I think we are going to make a great team and
Yes,
just get some things to help that community of Lyme disease, MS, ALS, Parkinson's,
yes,
all the lupus, that autoimmune umbrella
yes, yes,
that
yes, yes,
really needs
yes,
our help,
yes.
so I can't wait.
Right. And
Yeah,
even through all of that, Miss Paula, and you and I know that, God is the ultimate healer, and
right,
that He is no respecter person. If He
right.
did it for you, if He did it for me, hey, He can do it for them as well. And we
Absolutely.
just believe that, that God is going to do a great work, and He's going to do just what He said. He's promised us that He's going to do. He's a God that He cannot and He will not lie, neither is He the
Yes,
Son of Man that He shall repent. He's going to make it good, and
yeah,
it is going to be, oh my God, life changing. So I'm
yeah,
excited.
yes,
I'm
me
just
too.
excited to be connected.
Me too. Yeah, I know. That's like, yeah, it's exciting. Like I said,
Yes, ma'am.
just
Yes,
before the show,
ma'am.
I was seeing the whole picture. So
Mhm,
that
mhm.
just excites me because that doesn't
Yes,
always happen.
yes,
Only
ma'am.
sometimes. Sometimes
Yes,
he's
ma'am.
really
Yes,
showing it
ma'am.
now. I mean, he gave me a glimpse of it, like I said, a few years ago. I've got it all
Hmm.
in,
Hmm.
in
Hmm.
storage somewhere, but I still know in my mind what I had in mind. So
Yes,
now we can just make it happen. So
yes, absolutely.
I'm excited to have the
Absolutely.
people out there because more and more people are walking around. Oh, that's the other one. They're walking around with so-called fibromyalgia. That's
Hmm.
just a symptom. Just a symptom.
Right,
It could be lupus. It could be Lyme disease. It could be it's just a symptom. Fibro.
right,
That's all it is. You know what I mean? There's a bigger
right,
picture going on.
right,
So
right, right,
everybody they walk around. I have fibromyalgia. I have fibro. It's like,
right.
yeah. I'll never forget.
Oh,
I went to an event one day. I was sitting at a table. I think there was maybe like six of us at the table. I think it was a business event too. It was something.
uh-huh.
It wasn't health related either. And
Hmm.
there was like six of us at the table, somewhere around there, like five out of the six, including me. I was like the sixth person. I don't have
Hmm.
fibromyalgia. I never did.
Hmm.
All of them were saying they had fibromyalgia. I'm like, what are the
Wow.
chances? It's that
Really?
common. It's that. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. But they all what when my pastor, Pastor David A. Cowan, he always um tell us, that a lot of times when by the time we get a diagnosis of something, we've already had the symptoms, and the symptoms is just cues that something is going on in your body.
Absolutely.
And
Yep.
so it's up to us to deep dive and get into, okay, let me find out why is this happening to me, because everything, cause and effect. It something is happening. So let me find out what it is that's going on.
Yep.
Because just like me, when I first started off, I had a lot of numbness in my feet. And
Hmm.
I thought it was one thing. I went to the doctor was telling me one thing, but then days later, come to find out it was something totally different. My body was giving me signals.
Right. Yeah.
So we have to pay attention. We have to
Yep.
pay attention.
Yeah. Some of those symptoms can be tingling, numbness in the feet, because it affects the nervous system.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Foggy brain, like they start to get like dementia like symptoms. That's
mm-hmm,
one of them.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Joint pain is the big one. In
Right,
Lyme, it always affects the joints, like the knees, the lower back,
right.
hips, always affects that. Headaches, that's, constant headaches. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes,
And I've done
yes.
other shows too, with mold toxicity. That can be
Okay.
another.
I've
Sometimes
heard of
mold
that.
toxicity and Lyme disease go hand in hand, but they're all,
Mm-hmm,
like I said, it's under that same umbrella. They all have like those same symptoms.
mm-hmm.
So sometimes it can be mold. Yeah.
Wow.
If you look
Wow,
at
wow.
all and we need to like talk more about it, because all the rain that this world has been getting,
Mm-hmm,
imagine how many homes right now,
mm-hmm.
they probably don't clean up correctly after
Yeah,
rain and flooding, and
yeah,
they mold in their home. Like I'm
yes.
watching, it's crazy as this sounds, I'm watching all these cruise ships, right? A lot of videos
Mm-hmm,
about these cruises that are out there. There's like this
mm-hmm,
world cruise going on right now. It's like 9 months long. And they get a lot of water coming in
mm-hmm,
sometimes with these storms, right?
mm-hmm,
I'm
mm-hmm.
saying, no wonder these people get sick on cruises. They don't clean it
Right,
all up. They might just,
right.
it's still stuck, you know what I mean? They might soak up the water, but that
Yeah,
mold is underneath the rugs. It's,
yeah,
you know what I mean? They're
yeah.
always saying it's norovirus, it's this, it's that. I'm like, no, it's mold.
Pay
Yep.
attention. Pay
Pay
attention.
attention. Pay
Yes,
attention. Yeah, I'll
ma'am.
bet you money. And, I don't want to curse these people, but I'm already seeing it. Some of these people
Mm-hmm,
on this 9 month cruise, they're getting ill. They're already starting to
mm-hmm,
get,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
probably because it's
Wow.
mold. They're stuck, even though they get outside from time to time, they're still confined in little areas, so
Yeah,
there's mold in their
yeah.
room somewhere, coming through the vents, whatever, you know what I mean? So just something to keep in mind. Like the mold used to bother me where I worked. I worked in
Mm-hmm.
a prison for 22 years. Whenever they put on the
Yeah.
air conditioning,
Mm-hmm.
that moisture was coming
Oh,
from the vent.
yeah.
And oh,
Yeah.
it bothered me so bad. I'd sniffle and sneeze and get so, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mold can do a number on people. So, and
Wow.
it mimics Lyme disease. It's always like one of the same types of symptoms. Some people have
Mm-hmm.
both, and mold
Mm-hmm.
toxicity and Lyme disease. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it's not talked about enough. So yeah,
Right, 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 right,
I see all
right.
these places, over in California and stuff. And people that are poor, if they're lucky enough to be able to salvage their home once the water
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
recedes, are they
But the
getting rid
stuff
of
that's
it?
underlining, yes.
Yeah, because my
Yeah.
home back in Massachusetts, where I'm from, we had water in our basement quite a few times. So I could tell you right now, my mom had a lot of breathing problems. Um, we never pulled out that paneling to see if there was mold under
What was
there.
behind there? Yeah.
I guarantee you that.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow, wow, wow.
Mm-hmm.
But I
Yep.
tell you, but yes, we had some good things. We got a little work ahead of us, Miss Paula, but we're gonna
I
we're
know,
gonna
right?
we're gonna get it done. We are
Yeah.
gonna get it
Yeah. We got to
done. We are
educate
determined.
people and help them
Yes.
realize what can be affecting their health and what you can do to feel better,
Right,
even if
right.
it's changing your diet, that's
Yes,
foremost.
yes,
Changing your
yes.
prayer life. Well, I would
Mm-hmm.
actually, I want to go back. Changing your prayer life is first and foremost. Second would be diet. Yeah.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
then whatever modalities that you choose that can help you, whether it's a
Right.
massage bed once in a while, or Just
Mm-hmm.
different things that,
Massages, I'm a big advocate of that. You're going to see a massage therapist
hmm
and let them, work out those kinks and that
right.
inflammation,
Yeah,
because I deal a lot, with the inflammation. So that's where I go to get my, to help me in the
right.
natural sense to get my release.
Yeah,
So it helps a lot. And of course, I always tell people consult your healthcare profession before you
right.
do it. But it's something that, like I told you earlier, it's not a one size fits all. It's
No.
something that helps Angela. So yes, yes,
So
ma'am.
tell
But
us, yeah, tell us a little bit about what does help Angela. Do you have a certain diet, a certain
right
routine?
with my
Thing?
I had to change my diet, of course.
hmm
Um, cut out a lot of sugars.
Yeah.
I had to cut out wheat,
hmm
sodas,
Yeah.
cheese,
hmm
of course, milk. I don't drink milk.
Yeah.
Um, and they always say, what vitamin D with MS is one of the culprits, the vitamin, you have to keep your vitamin D levels up, but I don't
Right.
drink milk. So I had to find other supplements, and my doctor was able to give me a supplement for the vitamin D to help me in that area. But, there are certain things that, you can change, just little tweaks.
Right.
We're not trying to tell you, no, you can't eat or you can't drink.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So you have to find what fits you. But I know for
Right.
me, I had to stop that. Even I was a big coffee drinker. Every day I had to have 3 and 4 cups of coffee.
Oh my
I had
goodness.
right. So I had to cut it.
Yeah.
So now, I might have 1 coffee a day.
Right.
I might.
Yeah.
Some days I don't have any. But water, your water intake, stay hydrated.
Yes.
Make sure
Yeah.
you drink your water. And if you can, hey, make it alkaline. Take your
Yeah.
lemon, squeeze your lemon in your water.
Yeah.
Certain things you can even buy alkaline water now. Just be mindful of the ones that you do buy. Do your research.
hmm
But stay hydrated above all. And
Yes.
those little, you'll be surprised at how just those little things will make a big difference.
Yeah. Staying hydrated lubricates the joints.
Right.
Even like with back pain, I learned about this through Your Many Cries for Water. Look it up.
Mm-hmm.
Dr.
Mm-hmm.
Batman, something or other. He's Indian. He studied how water could help inmates in prison in Iran, I believe it was, back in like the 70s. And it helped them with different things like, I'm trying to think of what happened. I can't remember the exact stuff that happened, but he would give the
Mm-hmm.
inmates like water and it would help them.
Okay.
So he did all these like studies. So one of the things he would say was like your back, the little discs in your back shrink
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
if
Mm-hmm.
you're dehydrated. So you're going to have back pain. So if you stay
Mm-hmm.
hydrated, you're less likely to have back pain. But
That's
he talked
good.
about all different things like how water can help with allergies. It helps me with my
Mm-hmm.
allergies.
Mm-hmm.
If I start to drink water, if I'm a little sniffly or something, stuffed up,
Mm-hmm.
drink water,
Mm-hmm.
it's like magic for me. That's my experience.
Wow.
Saying it's gonna work for everybody. Give it a try though.
Right.
Because that was like a huge eye opener. Now I don't need all that stuff that's over the shelves, which is
Right. 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 Right.
commonly
Right. Ooh,
expensive.
huh?
I don't
Look,
need a prescription. None of, it helps just to drink water. That and
we're
vitamin
not
C.
we're not gonna get on that soapbox about the prescriptions and the over the counter. Drink your
Right.
water. Drink your water. Stay hydrated,
Yep.
please.
Yep. Absolutely. So tell us about, you have 7 books. So tell us about your books. Tell us, I don't know where you want to start. If you want to start with book 1.
God, there's so much. Look,
I
we don't have
know.
enough time to talk about all of them, but my
Yep.
just trying to see what I got. I got them right here. Let's see.
Okay.
This right here, limited access. This was one, Miss Paula, where I had to draw the line. We talked about that earlier, drawing the line. No is not a bad word. Knowing your
Right.
limits, decluttering your life, not allowing people to come in. You know that you were supposed to be doing something or fulfilling a task, but you allow all of these distractions to come in your room, putting up that do not disturb sign and giving limited access to those things that don't need to be in the room with you. It's
Mhm.
like a person, a woman giving birth, and you have a midwife in the room. All of those other extra people that's in the room sitting and spectating, bye bye. All I need is my midwife. That person is going to help me birth my vision, birth my calling, whatever it is. That's all you need in the room with you. You don't need all the extra people, the extra ideas, the extra things that people will feed and filter to you. Give limited access to those things. Now, I'm not going
Mhm.
to tell you to shut everybody off, but give only those that's vitally important to your process access to the room. And
Mhm.
this is where this was birthed out of. It deals with your vision. It deals with, like I said, decluttering, knowing what your trusted weapon is. What is your trusted weapon? You may be a you might be a great cook. You may be a writer.
Mhm.
You may be a songwriter or a singer. So whatever your trusted weapon is, if you're a singer, you know that your vocal cords, that's your trusted weapon, and that's what you use. You may be a good cook. You know that your mixing spoon or your mixing bowl or whatever it is, that's your trust, your ability to cook is your
Right.
trusted weapon. And that's where your wealth will lie in, right? That's where you can gain resources and you can make money and open a business, whatever it is. As for me, like I said, I'm a writer
Yeah.
and I use that as that's my trusted weapon. I write limited
Mhm.
access. Have another book. It's bigger than me. This is my compilation that I compiled. It has several different authors in here giving their testimonies, and I tell you, they are so powerful. So all of these are on Amazon. All of my books are on Amazon.
Mhm.
So they can
Tell
go
us
on
about it.
Amazon.
Yeah,
I'm
tell us a
so
little
I'm
bit
sorry.
about that. It's bigger than me.
It's bigger than me.
Mhm.
Overcoming adversity. These
Okay.
women of God that wrote these books and wrote in these chapters, they tell their stories so eloquently. And I tell you, you just never know what a person, I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna leave it right. I'm gonna drop the microphone, as they say. You never know what an individual is going through in their lives. A
Mm.
lot of times they smile, they put that mask on, hey,
Yep.
I got it all together. But then when the true story is told, when you're able to see it and
Right.
read it for yourself, you'll be like, oh my God, I didn't
Right.
know. And that's where I found myself, even as I started reading through some of these stories from these women of God. I tell you, it is so eye-opening, and I love it because I get to read and delve deep down into their lives and what
Yeah.
they walked through and how they overcame. A lot of them, they've written about how they overcame. One young lady, Dorian Alexander, her chapter is titled "You Are in Charge of Your Own Healing." How about that?
Mhm. Yeah.
So powerful. Just those words alone. You are in
Right.
charge of your own healing.
Yeah.
That means there are some things that she had to do or we have to do. A lot of times we sit and we expect for God to just drop it down out of the sky, Miss Paula.
Mhm.
Well, I'm just gonna sit here and wait for God to do it.
Right. No, we have to do some work. Yeah.
When he tells us faith without works is what? Dead.
Did.
So
Yeah.
have to do some things. But yeah,
Yes.
it's bigger than me. I was able to include my pastor's wife, elect Lady Linda Cowan, in the book as well. She wrote a powerful a story, testimony of her life and her journey, along with
Mhm.
the other women. And there are so many. And of course, this one, I'm pretty sure you're familiar with, The Gifted,
Yes.
Pastor Shane Godfrey, and all of these remarkable authors that's in here. I was able to be a part of this collaboration, and I tell you, I just find great joy in helping people. I am an author coach as well, Miss
Mhm.
Paula, and I
Yep.
help people birth their stories, birth their books.
Okay.
And I
Nice.
find that great joy. I have a couple of authors that's getting ready to release their books real soon. And I'm applauding them and I'm patting them on the back because they made the step. They took the first
Right.
step. They
Right.
reached out and they say, "Can you help me? Can you assist me?" And we just got in and we dove in and got it done. And I am just so happy that I
That's
was able to be a part of their journey, to be a part of their, hey, be that midwife to help them birth that vision.
right. What's the name of the next one coming out?
My next one is going to be a children's book.
Oh,
And
okay.
I tell you, it deals with the kids, they think that they know everything. The parents, we tell them stuff, but they go on and do their own they do
Hmm.
their own things. And the title of that one is The Fish That Could Not Fly. And I'm not going to tell the whole story because I
Right,
want
right,
them,
right.
yeah,
Yeah.
I want them to get it. But just be expecting it. You'll see it I call it in the social media streets. They'll be able to see it advertised and take a hold of it. But go on over to Amazon. You can
Hmm.
type in my name, Angela, ANGELLAWYNN, and see my books, everything that's there. Make your purchase. And also my website is being rebranded.
Okay.
I say rebranded, but I tell you, it is, oh my God, it's gonna be wow, the wow factor. And that is books to win at
Oh, wow.
bookstowin.com. So they'll be able to go on there as well and make a purchase and get autograph copies from me, right?
Right.
Along with my other paraphernalia. I have t-shirts, I have tumblers there as well that they'll be able to purchase. So there are a plethora of things that's in the works, and there's some more books that's getting ready to come forth as well. To be honest with you, Miss Paula, I have about 7 more books that I've written, haven't published them,
Oh, wow. Okay.
just been sitting on them, but they're
Wow.
coming and they're coming
Yeah.
forth, and I'm just so excited. And I love sharing the wealth and value with others
Mm.
because no man is an island by his or herself, right? So we should be here to help our brothers and help our sisters on their journeys because a
Right.
lot of them don't have access and they don't have the resources. But God is going to afford us the great opportunity to be able to be that platform for them, Miss Paula. And I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't
And
wait.
now me either. And going back to writing books, it's a little bit easier now to write books. People used to think, it's all, you got to write, you need time, da, da, da. You
Mhm,
know what? Hit
mhm,
record on your Microsoft Word, or there are
mhm,
apps for it, or
mhm,
Google Docs. Hit the
mhm,
little microphone, hit
mhm.
record, and just you can do it with your voice and then get someone like
Right,
you, Angela, to put it all
right,
together. So you know
right,
what I mean?
right, right.
Or you can do like an anthology. Now you only have a
Mhm,
chapter. It's a good start.
right.
Anthologies with other people, like I did two myself.
Mhm,
Um, one is with 9 other women. They were at Overcomers. And then my last one, Activate Your Faith, which mine's
mhm,
also on Amazon. They were
mhm,
amazing overcomers. They went
mhm,
through, and yeah, and they went through, two of them went through stroke. No, three of them went through strokes. I'm sorry, I correct myself. Went through strokes.
mhm.
One of them had diabetic retinopathy, has
Okay,
diabetes, so she's going blind.
okay.
Um, and another one was in a plane crash. So
Wow,
just amazing overcomers, and their stories are incredible. So yeah, if
wow.
you want to get that book, it's on Amazon as well. So, and then my story is about me overcoming. The enemy has been trying to take me out since I was born. So that's one of the things I've overcome.
Not gonna happen.
Infidelity. Yep.
Right. Not gonna happen. Not gonna
And then
happen.
yeah, just a little bit of how, I used to be like a shy kid growing up, and how I named the chapter "Who Would Have Thought," because I
Okay.
kind of just picked everything up and moved from Massachusetts to North Carolina. Didn't really know
Okay.
people, so it was all about, like, I did a lot of things that you would have never expected a shy
Mhm,
girl
mhm,
to do,
mhm.
and have like my own TV show, right? Like, I mean, I used to sit in the back of the class, so I wouldn't even raise my hand.
Oh, what a change. Oh, what a
Mhm.
change. Oh, what a change.
Yeah, God,
That's
God
fun.
is He really is making the people that were last come first. The last will
Yes,
be first. He really
yes,
is. Yeah, he really is doing that.
absolutely, absolutely. Well,
So
I
tell us
see
about your TV show. You have a TV
Yes.
show.
Yes, I have a TV show that airs every Thursday on Elevation TV Network.
Mm-hmm.
Winning Today with Angela. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Winning Today with Angela is the name
Nice.
of my TV show.
Yep.
And I like to bring people on and give them the platform to share their ministries, to share their businesses, to
Yep.
bring and shed and to elevate, encourage, to inspire, because we like I said, we have to be our brothers and our sisters keepers, right?
Yeah.
So I like to bring them and give them the platform because a lot of them don't have that opportunity for
Right.
whatever reason. So to give them the platform to be able to come in and share their stories. And I love it. I also have a radio show that airs every Tuesday, and it's on Elevation Radio Network. And same thing, I love to bring them on. Some people don't want to be on television. They prefer to do the radio. So they have, hey, you can do either or. I'm giving you I'm giving you a platform where you can choose which one you want to do, to
Yeah.
be to come on and share about the goodness of God and the things that they've come through and the challenges that they've overcome, right? So
Right.
I love it. I love what I do. I love people. I love talking to people. My son used to tell me, he said, Mama, you can talk a fly off the wall if you had to. I just love people.
I love it. I love it.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I love Elevation TV Network too, because that's how I feel too. Like it's a great platform
Yes.
for people to just get comfortable being in an
Right.
interview and being on
Right.
camera. And it's a
Right.
little different than just a Facebook Live. You are on TV, but
Mhm.
it's not like in a TV studio, it's not scary. Like I've done
Right.
TV studio stuff. I was on an actual TV studio set back in
Okay.
Massachusetts. So I did TV, it was a local TV station. So I'd actually go there and be on TV. That can be a little intimidating with all these.
Intimidated. Mhm.
So
Mhm.
it's a good
Mhm.
start for people to come on Elevation TV Network, whether it's
Right.
your show, my
It's
show.
it's a safe space.
Right. Yeah.
Mhm.
Like I
Mhm.
had one woman on, she went through a lot of stuff. She was beaten, she was just a lot of stuff.
Mhm.
And she she said this is the first time I've been able to tell this story and felt comfortable. That meant a lot.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean? Just
Right. Right. Right.
like you
Right.
say, it's just something about Elevation TV Network. It's
Yes.
a great space. You don't feel
Yes.
intimidated. You just, yeah,
Right. And I
yeah,
love it. I love it. I
yeah,
love it. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
yeah.
Well, it's been an awesome privilege, oh my God, to
Yes,
be here
it's been
with
a
you, Miss
pleasure.
Paula. But I
Yeah.
do want to tell them, those that are looking for, hey, author coaching, life coaching. I am a ghost writer as well. So
Okay.
if they're looking or wanting to write a book and don't know where to start, how to get started, hey, reach out to me. You can email me at books to win, that's BOOKS, the number two WYNN
I
at
love it.
yahoo.com. And hey, let's connect because
Yeah.
I want to see you win. I want to see you prosper, and I want to see that vision come to life. I look
Yeah.
forward to seeing it. So let's get it done. Reach out to me. I'm here. I'm waiting just for you.
Yeah. And one last thing to add to that, the people are waiting for what you have.
Yes.
So if you're a little bit scared and you've been holding on to it, whatever you
Let it
have,
go.
that story, there's somebody out there that's waiting for what you have. That might be part of their
Right.
destiny. They may
Right.
go on to be, have other people write books or whatever. You know what I mean? Who
Mm-hmm.
knows what their
Mm-hmm.
destiny is?
Right.
So
Right. Right.
you
Right.
got to remember that it's not just about you when you have a story inside you. And like I said, definitely think about doing an anthology if a whole book is a little bit scary. It's a good
Mm-hmm.
start.
Mm-hmm.
Get a
Mm-hmm.
chapter in there, you get your story out. It's a good start. So I
I
just wanted
like
to,
to say,
yeah,
step out of your comfort zone.
yeah,
I've had many to say, well, I'm just scared. I don't know what to do. I'm scared. Do it scared, whatever it is.
right,
But we already know God is in his word say he has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. Step
yeah,
out of your comfort zone and
right,
do it. Hey,
yeah,
I don't want to go on, Facebook Live or Instagram Live or whatever. Baby, hit that record button and talk. Let your testimony be heard.
Right.
Let them see you, let them hear you, because
Yep.
people support who they know, like, and trust. So
Yep.
if get out there where you can be seen, and don't be scared to do it, because your greatness inside is inside of you. You're great and you're getting greater by the day. I
Yep.
always say that we are all winners. Why? Because there's enough room for all of us to win. There's enough room for Miss Paula to win, enough
Yep.
room for Angela to win, and enough room for you to win. So do what you got to do, connect, make proper connections, bring your time, your talent, and your resources to the table. And hey, let's get the job done.
Amen to that. So, well, with that, I want to thank you again for being on with me. This was such a
Absolutely.
pleasure. I'm excited for what we're going to do together because I know
Yes.
it's time. It needs to be
Yes.
done.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm excited. So thank you again. And once again, everybody, if you're going through an illness or know somebody going through an illness, please reach out to me at
Yes.
info@enrichyourhealth.com. That's who you are. Or you can do Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, reach out to me that way. Or if you have any questions about your own health, please reach out to
Mhm.
me and I can see how I can help you. So thank you again, everybody.
Amen.
Also looking for sponsors. And we will see
Amen.
you next Sunday. Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Bye, everybody.